everybody, and welcome to Survivor with Jamie, Jack, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
I am Jamie.
And I'm Conspiracy Theory.
Welcome
You're not
to the show,
the third
everybody.
turd? You're not the third turd?
Not the third turd.
Third turd? I could be the third turd. I don't, but Conspiracy Theory, yes.
Man, the episode title names this season are spectacular.
Was that the title of the episode? Third turd?
Third turd.
Nice.
So
that was Carolyn who said it, right? Carolyn said it?
Yeah, another Carolyn-ism.
She's like naming them all this season. Anyway, thank you for joining us live to talk about this episode. I really got to start adding that theme song back in post, or doing the fancy things that Jay used to do, where it's like, tonight on Survivor, we're going to be talking about blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I'm not that committed. Anyway, hello. It's good to talk to you guys.
With his fake podcasting voice.
With his fake podcasting voice. It's lovely to talk to you all this evening about the third turd. I just wanted to say that again. The non-elimination episode. Poor Matthew. Sling Matthew. There was this awesome thing that went around on Twitter, and it was like taken out by rocks, and it had people that, went out with the purple rock. Oop, lost my headphones. But with the purple rock, and then Matthew.
Oh.
It's pretty funny, though.
Did they make the cliff purple?
I feel so bad for him. It stinks so much that you want something so badly and you train for something and then you have to leave on an injury, but it's not like even an injury he got during a competition. It was just some stupid thing he didn't even have to be doing, and that's gonna suck for him forever. It just is.
It does. You think he'll be invited back?
I think so.
Maybe.
But I'll say again, I wouldn't have quit.
Just gonna keep through it, huh? With a floppy arm.
Did it for years.
Hey, Jeff said it wasn't a quit. He said this was not a quit.
Well, no, I'm sure he's got a tear in there somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just part of life. I mean,
yeah, it's like you hit 40 and then everything just starts tearing.
Well, mine was at 12, but that's okay. But
oh, well, we can't all be ruffians.
Yeah, I was like going, don't quit. Just go in the ocean, lay in there for like an hour. The cooler water will make it feel better.
Well, at one point, I turned to Jay and Shandy, and I was like, can't they just like give the dude a Vicodin and like call it a day? See what happens?
Yeah, right. Like he's fine. Well, I hope they have him back. He shows that he is worthy of gameplay.
He was doing really well, so that is part of what does make it such a bummer.
We might get another second chances.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd
welcome him back.
I would too.
Just stay off the cliffs, buddy.
Oh yeah, darn it anyhow.
He's lucky he didn't break his neck and hit his head.
That was high enough of a fall on the worst type of thing you could be falling on.
Yeah.
Every time they play the clip, I get mad because it's just like you imagine all the road rash and the cuts and.
Well, I'm sure it was slimy. I mean, it's anyone's been to the ocean.
An ocean
rocks
rock.
Around they're slimy. You can kill yourself on those things. You're walking, and down you go.
Yeah. Okay, so we had some really great moments in this episode, though, I think. Like, overall, it was really entertaining.
I liked the episode a lot.
I thought so I was hopeful that he did not go home, but we had the music.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, you looked at the time, I go.
Well, yeah, that too. Jay and I were like, it's 8:55. There's no way. There's no way they're going to be tribal.
I said at 8:49, I turned to my wife, Cindy, and I said, they're not going to have tribal tonight. She goes, why? I go, there's no time. I mean, they would have to go to commercial first.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, boom.
Yeah, unless it was like the quickest vote out in the history of vote outs, which could have been, but once it hit like 8:55 and we were like, oh yeah, there's not going to be a tribal. But also I was hoping again, before we got to that point that Matthew was going to stay in the game. But again, they had that music. And,
yes, they did.
It was.
And did you notice how they tried to sidetrack you from the idea that Matthew was going home because they gave us like the deep dive on Josh's past? Like,
yeah.
He's going to get cut. Nope, kidding.
And then you're like going, wow,
Not
Josh went through a
surprised.
lot. and still graduated top of his class. So it's like,
Yep.
I want to see Josh go home. Now, here's my conspiracy theory.
Dude, super terrible liar still.
He's the worst.
He is.
What's your conspiracy theory?
But it's
Do
the
you
best
like my
that he's the
fake
worst.
idol? Right away, Jam Jam. Aren't these from Tree Mail?
Oh, that was the best. Are these the beats from Tree Mail?
And it's like the best. It's the best tribe to like be able to see this lie because both of them can't like contain their like laughter about it.
Oh, it was incredible. So I was at the live Nodals last night in Raleigh, and a lot of this cast was there last night. I met Heidi. I met Yam Yam, who sent a video to my kids telling them to brush their teeth.
Oh my god, I love that. That's awesome.
I will share it with you guys
they
later.
They were already in bed though.
They were, but he said just I was telling him how much at the after party after I was like, oh my god, you are my kids' favorite players. Something like that, and I was like, I try to be that cool mom in between yelling at them to brush their teeth. So then, like 30 seconds later, he's like, "Can I have your phone?" And I was like, "Sure." And he opens up the camera and he's like, "Hello, Zach and Alex. This is Jam Jam."
Oh my god, that's so great! I can hear it already.
It was. I'll send it to you guys. It was very, very fun.
So, did they love it? Did they watch the video?
They did. So he was there. Carson was there. Maddie, who was voted off this season first, was there. Claire was there. Dwight, who is from last season, the one that Jesse took the idol from, he was there. Zach Wartenberger from Marianne's season
I'm excited
was there.
Zach was there.
Who else was there? Heidi was there, obviously.
Did you say Carson? Was Carson
Carson was there. Sammy was there. Obviously, Jesse was there. Who else was there?
Did Carson look
Owen
a
was
lot
there,
richer?
and his what?
Did Carson look a lot richer?
No, and it took me a few minutes to make sure that it was definitely him because he wasn't as like muscular anymore.
Yeah.
So
wait, as muscular.
Did he drop 30 pounds? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, remember he gained 30 pounds.
I'm
of
off
muscle.
the juice.
So he was there, but Jay and Shandy
Not drinking that milk stuff.
Jay and Shandy and I got in late. Not late, but it was general admission seating, and we parked, and then Jay tried to bring a Swiss Army knife in, so they made him go back to the car and put it away.
Why do you have a Swiss Army knife?
I don't know. So then we got him because he wants to be a Swiss Army knife person now. I don't know. That's what he tells me.
Does he like the toothpick or the scissors?
I love the toothpick. So I got the Swiss Army knife for myself in Germany, and it turns out my dad had gotten me a nicer one for my birthday. So Jay was like, "Can I have the Germany one?" And I was like, "Sure." And he's like, "I'm going to be a Swiss Army knife person now." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I guess he forgot he had it in there, and it set off the metal detector, and he had to go back. So by the time we did that, then we got in line to get refreshments, and then by the time we got in, it was like 7:52 or whatever. So most people were seated. So we ended up on the side. But the side that we were on was directly over where the survivors were sitting. So we got to watch
the good side.
We got the good side, the good seats. We got to watch.
So you should thank
Carson. Every time somebody complimented him, he would slink down in his seat and get embarrassed.
Aww.
It was so sweet. It was so cute. With Jam Jam, like he he was like very animated, like everybody was clapping towards him, especially during some of his really fun moments that he was, talking about, like the Tree Mail thing. And, when he told Josh, like, he was like, he has bitch face, everybody started laughing. So it was, it was a really fun episode to interact with those people. Although technically we met their cousins last night. They're cousins that look a lot like
like Jam Jam?
Yeah, Jam Jam. His look-alike identical cousin who told my kids to brush their teeth. But yeah, everybody was they were very, very nice. And yeah. So it was really cool. It was fun. It was fun because it was such a Jam Jam and Carolyn humor heavy episode.
It was
Carolyn
like
was not there. If she was there, she was incognito. I did not see her there. But
there's no way she was there and you wouldn't know she was there.
I know, right? Like, who am I kidding?
There's no way, because she'd be like, "Yeah, I'm here."
Yeah. Hello.
She'd like do the hand thing over her face and slink down.
I love that. I love
Yes.
that.
I'm just
Yes.
amazed that we've had what are we on? Is this the fourth
Fifth
episode?
episode.
Fifth episode.
Fifth, really?
And nearly
think.
every episode has been like very
Fourth?
Carolyn centric because she's giving the best TV.
I mean, yeah.
Because she's out there. I mean, she's,
And she's playing. It's not just that she's hilarious and brings so much in her.
Oh, she knows the game.
She's playing the game.
She's a smart player. She's smart, and she's. I'll get into it later on. But let me just do my theory real quick. My theory is the reason they didn't have tribal wasn't just because Matthew went home. I think because Carolyn was going to be voted out. And
no, I don't think so. She had an idol. She even said in the confessional that she would play her idol. She was going to.
Yeah, they always say that. How many times they go, "Oh, I'm not gonna play it." I don't think either her or Jam Jam was going to get voted out, and they didn't want to lose them.
I think it was going to be. I feel my gut says Josh was going.
I also 100% think that it was going to be Josh.
But I do think that she was going to play that idol for sure, and be really mad about it.
I don't think she would have played it.
I think she would have. She's smart.
Yeah, there's a lot of smart people don't play the idols.
How
many times have people gone home with 2 idols, and you're like going,
that is
too
a
smart
fact.
to go home with 2 idols. So that's my theory that someone was going to go home that they didn't want to go home, because I'm sorry.
I think it's because there's 12.
If you lose a challenge, then someone should go home.
Though it was nice. It was.
I'm glad because I have Jam Jam's my final.
See, I disagree that they were going to go home, because I think that they had no choice, because they're down to 12 people, and usually they merge. They have that mergatory thing at 13, and they're like down on the numbers because we lost somebody
we already lost extra players because of medvac, so we already out of that. And then now also the 3 that did get picked to go to this meal or whatever, it's the 3 people that opened up the cages in each tribe. Like, and I don't. They said that they picked the players, but that's pretty coincidental too. So another conspiracy theory.
Pick that person.
Right? Like,
I mean, what are the odds of that happening?
Matthew was gone before the competition, right?
No. After they took him aside after, because he was in pain during it.
Okay. I could not remember if he played in it or if he was sitting out or what. But
no, he played and kept getting hurt. Yeah. Oh,
it was his second sit out in a row. And that's when Jeff said, "That's your second sit out in a row." Yeah. Now, so
that actually makes me. I'm glad that we figured that out, because that definitely pushes me away from any conspiracy on if Carolyn or Jam Jam were going to go home, because if he had left before the competition. You know what I mean? Like, then they had to like pull a bunch of strings to be able to get the end of that episode. I don't know. I think she would have stayed.
Maybe. We'll never know.
We'll never know.
I'm sticking with the person behind the grassy knoll theory.
That's a solid theory. It's solid. It's
because you can see it. You could see in the challenge someone opened up an umbrella. And it wasn't raining. So,
excellent call out. Excellent.
Yes.
A+. All right. So we got the Josh stuff that happened on the beach. Again, absolutely hilarious, amazing, and I can't even tell you how hilarious.
Well, I like when Carolyn goes.
You watched it.
Have you seen the Idol Jam Jam? And then she realizes the note and stuff like that. I'm like going, oh my God, Josh, this is brutal. I just would have said I had an idol. I wouldn't have showed anybody. I just would have said I had an idol.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because here is one of those things where the troubles of Carolyn's life really helps her be able to spot BS. She didn't even have half a second. She was like, "Oh my God, give me a break! You literally are showing me the exact same paper you've already shown me. Like those are the beads from the tree mail."
Well, okay, to be fair, how many people would actually read it?
I'd read it.
I mean, some people might just look at it and say, "Okay."
That's what I'm saying. I would have said, "Okay, yeah, it's an idol, whatever." I don't know. I mean, she goes, "You didn't think I was going to read it?" Poor Josh. And the other two people now, those idols are useless. Oh, allegedly. Well, spoiler.
Well, yes, allegedly. Oh well, they got a good souvenir. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning of the episode. We had more of the Matt and dorky Matt and what's her face, Franny.
Franny.
Oh, Franny.
Oh, Franny.
Oh,
Franny, you're so fine.
Such
a big smile.
Well, and because what's her name didn't catch on that they were
Jamie.
I was like going. I go. How could you not?
Right?
Yeah, I mean, how could you not know? I mean, they're like, and then when they were hugging, and then he's like, I'm like going, all right, what is he trying to say? I need to go to the ocean real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was saying, he goes, it was a lot of sparks flying, and I was like going, okay, all right.
Yeah. So they all have like their little meditation club, and
his lifesaver was
it's like his survivor foreplay
saber
for meditating. Oh, they love each other already.
But they've only been to one tribal council, right? And now the merge. Now, do you think they'll be hurt during the merge because now it's the hardest thing about merge is when you go, you have to start over again.
Right. I don't know. I think if Jamie keeps acting as clueless as she is, and now she doesn't have Matthew there to like kind of protect her because he wanted to use her as like a shield.
Well, he protected her by giving her a fake idol.
By giving her, well, you know what I mean, like having her as like as an alliance member. I think that Jamie's going to be in trouble. I definitely think either Franny or Matt will be in trouble. I think as soon as one of them is gone, the other the ire of the gameplay might focus on somebody else. Like
if I know that if I'm one of the people that know they're a couple and I find out I'm in trouble, I go, they're voting as one.
They're a really easy one to put all the.
I said, I go, just let you know, you can vote for me, but they're voting as a couple. We know what happens when you don't get those people out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, Jamie did say that right now she's the most important person to talk to. So. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's cute, but it's also like
I'm the most important person to talk to. The creed of every Jamie.
Right now, Carson's impressing me.
I was going to say, speaking of twosomes, Carson and Kane.
That was so fun. I
loved it. Like me.
Oh my God. So Kane just could not control himself. Like, it was hilarious. Oh, he's like, what about the Jedi? And I think it was Fishback that tweeted something like, there are two different kinds of nerds.
Yeah.
Like, Zane is like, your comic book and Star Wars and blah, blah, blah nerd. And Carson's the kind of nerd that's just seen every Marvel movie.
Yes.
Kane, he's flying under the radar right now. I mean, I don't know if he's.
I think he's just under the radar because that tribe hasn't had to go to tribal council again, and there's more story. Mm-hmm. There's better story coming from the other tribes.
Yeah,
at the moment.
I would have to say.
I think Carolyn's in trouble.
I'm really worried for her. I hope not.
Because when she was with the two other guys, I forget their Brandon and
Danny. Yeah, we're going to talk about that because that was hella terrible.
I mean, that was terrible gameplay by Brandon and Danny. You don't sit there and just ignores either. Even if you don't want to work with that person.
He insulted her to her face.
I know.
He was like, "Hey, Carolyn, no offense." He didn't even say no offense. He's like, "Well, you're not exactly good at the challenges."
But to be fair, she's not. But you don't tell someone that.
You don't tell someone that.
I mean, you're trying to take off your clothes because your pants are in the way. I don't know.
I don't think she's in trouble. I think that
she's a sports star.
I don't think she's in trouble because I think people are going to underestimate her. Like Danny and Brandon just completely wrote her off. Basically told her to her face, "We'll keep you around because you're not going to win immunity." Like
I think her problem is that, like I said, she was smart to come back and let Jam Jam know that Josh was part
in front of Josh. That was amazing.
It was perfect, but she can't keep her mouth shut. She shows her emotion, and it worked for Sandra. I don't know if it's going to work for Carolyn.
I don't know. I
hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but
I have faith in my girl.
She gets. I mean, it was frustrating.
She did. There was one thing she did, in that trio that I feel might actually be the cause of her trouble when they merge. And
when she was like, "Because I wanted to vote you out," and she was totally serious.
No, she ratted out the they come with an idol, because she said Carson has an idol. Like so Carson has an idol. Oh, so that means Carson has an idol. If Josh had one, then Carson has one.
But it's no longer good anymore, though.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But they don't know.
They don't know that, and also if their former tribe say, "Hey, like you have an idol. I know you have an idol. Carolyn told us," then that could be bad, because it's like, oh, Carolyn's telling everybody these things, and we just got to get her out of here. Like she's playing this game. So
yeah, I think I hope I'm wrong, but again, she like I said, she was right to be upset. But you can't 100%. Show it. You can't show it.
I think that the end of that whole scene where she was giving the confessional and she was like, "Because I will make it to the merge and I will take you out." Like, I feel like that was, very like prophesizing.
Yeah, like this is going to go a part of the story arc, right? Like,
yeah, I'm like, we are seeing Carolyn is our narrator for this season. So I truly think she's going at least to the final episode.
She goes into the merge with no. Jam Jam, is Jam Jam with her anymore?
Yeah, they said they were back together.
Yeah,
I
can't trust any of them.
But they're like Carolyn and Jam Jam are like kindred spirits. Like they're the kind of people that I think are attracted to.
We know Josh isn't with her.
No, no. I think part of the reason why Carolyn was on the right tribe right off the bat, because she had the personality like Jam Jam, and then she had Carson, and they all three of them kind of have that that underdog thing about them. And I think that when they go into the merge, she could possibly attract the other underdogs, like Matt, like Franny,
and Kane.
Yes, and if she can do that, because her personality is like, I know every few seasons we kind of get that mom figure, but she kind of has that, but she has a different version of that. Like
she's a cool mom.
She's she's a cool mom, but she's also kind of the collector of broken wing birds, so those that feel like they're out on the outs, I think are going to bond with her really quickly. So that could possibly be her superpower when she goes into merge.
Again, I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't know if she can control that.
Because when she gets mad, it's really clear that she's mad too.
Oh yeah,
right?
she doesn't have It's funny, she has a poker face, but she doesn't have a poker face. It's like when she loses her temper, she loses control of. It's almost like what's her name? When she was hangry, Shan.
Oh, Shan.
Yeah.
She was perfect until she started losing her temper, and she couldn't control it. And then you saw who okay, she can't be trusted. I need to get rid of her. And that could be the same thing with Carolyn. If people are going to be like. I mean, maybe her best play right now is to fly under the radar, people not thinking she's a threat, and then she can start making moves at the right time. But
another really great thing about Carolyn is her ability to immediately have like really like deep-rooted emotional conversations with people quickly. Like it doesn't take a lot for her to kind of break that barrier and start those conversations with people. There's a deleted scene with her and Jam Jam and Sarah talking before Sarah went home, and she was explaining about how her inability to hold her emotions back. The biggest reason that she had that is because she used to be really, really good at it, but it made her incredibly sick and toxic, and that was a big part of her addiction. And so she promised herself when she got sober, that's like her anchor, that she'll never hold that in and make herself sick again. And she's like, I understand that there are some people that that's just not how they are, and they're still safe being that way. And Sarah was talking about how she's definitely one of those people that keep things in, and that her best friend in the world is her brother, and she only hugs him like once every 5 years. And both Carolyn and Jam Jam were like, what? Like, we can't go 5 minutes without hugging each other. So yeah, but it's a really great conversation when you get those deleted scenes with her talking with people. It's like that counselor part of her really like clicks in fast.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still pretty high on Carolyn.
I love her. I want her to sail. I want her to.
I'd like her to win it, even though she's not my pick, because I think she's she's good TV. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I would have been if I'm sitting there and we've all been in that position where two people are talking. You're like going,
"Oh my god,
I'm here." I'm here.
She's like laughing in astonishment, like right to their face, like, "Hello."
Hey, you got well, they say you got tattoos. She has tattoos.
She's got a whole sleeve of tattoos.
I'm like,
but it's not Achilles, so.
I said, how could you guys be so clueless? So clueless.
Oh my god.
I just laugh at people like that when they're playing this game, because it's like, it's almost like they forget they're playing the game.
Yeah, but I think that's also, that scene is a perfect representation of how I think Carolyn is going to make it through pretty far. Is I think that they're just going to always underestimate her and always just be like, oh, it's Carolyn, we can get her out whenever.
It depends if she can keep, because Jam Jam doesn't, he basically said that, she doesn't trust her anymore. Right. And in fact, she is playing he is playing the game. So as Jam Jam wants to stay in the game longer, he's going to throw Carolyn under the bus.
I'm really kind of worried about him a little bit as far in regards to with Carolyn, because it is bringing up Shanigan. It feels like very Shannon Ricard to me. Like, it's not going to be long before they go, I got to take him out at the knees. Because if I don't, they're not going to stay loyal to the end.
If I'm Carolyn, I get him out because he knows me. And he knows I am playing the game. So I would get him out. What'll save her if she play, like say you said, Colleen, how she was going to play her idol, or Jamie, you were saying it. If she plays her idol at the right time, that will save her.
Yeah, agreed. And she's
or she hasn't shot the dart.
Yeah.
She won?
I will say everybody that last night was really high on Carolyn. I think at one point they might have asked from the stage, like, who thinks that who's rooting for Carolyn to be the winner or whatever. And like everybody just, stood up and, raised their hands and applauded. So, I mean, she's got a lot of people that are hoping that she wins.
Well, plus
I love that for her. I just love that for her.
I love it because I am a weirdo, and to see other weirdos represent myself on TV.
Hey, and this season
I feel seen, and I feel like I could be accepted outside of my big circle.
This season is like, I tweeted this yesterday, that this season is like so reminiscent of high school for me, because there's like all of this conversation and geeky excitement about Lord of the Rings. And
yes.
There's the being forced to sit at the lunch table with the dude bros who are like, pumping their muscles at each other.
Everyone was represented.
Move it too.
Like the D&D commercials. It's like
when I was in high school, you couldn't talk about stuff like you couldn't show your geekness. You had to hide it the best as possible because you get beat up. It's just the way it was.
I was in the place where it wasn't quite cool yet to do it, but you were no longer physically punished for liking nerdy things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
it's definitely easier to be a nerd now.
Geekism has risen, and there's more geeks that are willing to come out and say, I'm a geek, whereas before, geek, not me.
Well, my son and I had an actual conversation about this afternoon, and I said, you can never be hateful about the geeks and the nerds, because everything interesting, funny, and beautiful in the world came from the nerds. All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. He's like, oh, you got a really good point. I'm like, of course, I'm your mom. All my points are great.
Plus, as we see, the cool people never become later in life. Most of them aren't the cool people anymore.
Yeah, it's a fact. It's a fact.
I'm not criticizing people. It's just what it is.
Weirdness is interesting, and that carries on. Sometimes it's not always for the better, but weirdness is interesting.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say? I can't remember.
Geeks.
No, it was something before that.
I
don't recall.
Weirdos. We're represented now.
No, I was watching the show with Alex
Zach.
and Zach, and they only wanted to watch the challenges and tribal council. So we all picked a color.
Yep, that's what they do, and then they change colors based on.
Alex literally had. If there would have been a purple one, he would have switched to purple. He was switching it. I had green. I had orange. I go.
He's such a cheater.
I said, okay, Alex. Okay, I'm not gonna argue with you. Okay. It's just like...
And then if it's a last minute upset, he freaks out. Like Zachary used to be like, "I told you green was gonna win." It's to be like, "Dude, you've been voting for blue the whole time." And Alex would be like, "No, you voted for green. No, you jinxed it."
Was Josh horrible at that challenge? It was Josh that kept dropping. It was Josh. I kept going.
Yeah,
dude.
There was this weird thing that kept happening. Did you see it? Like anytime they would get close to an edge, it's like he would go. Like he would slam it really hard.
Slam it. I'm like going.
Yeah, it's like, where's those surgeon hands? Oh, that's right, your physical therapist hands. Yeah. Sorry.
I turned to I go, this dude. I go, come on. What are you doing?
I know it was. What are you doing? It was.
It wasn't one of those spots where, like you're saying, Jamie. It wasn't one of those spots where you have to kind of do it real lot. You know.
Yeah, he was just slamming that thing over.
Just baby it. I mean, if I was jammed, I would say, dude, you're killing me. You're killing me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It was a tough one. It was a tough one. But hey, we always wanted to know if it's that close in real life. And it is.
Yeah, because that shot they shot was a good shot. Mm-hmm. Where they showed the two balls.
Going right at the same time. Yeah. They're dropping at the same time.
And they've reached
it up, Josh.
And they've reached their destination. Anyway, but where they showed them.
Okay.
Oh my God.
They showed the balls dropping.
Yes.
In unison.
But they weren't in the hole yet.
They weren't in the hole yet.
So
what is this, the Ramblecast?
I know, but they were right there, and you didn't know who was going to win.
Yeah.
Who was
going to? You didn't know who was going to score first.
Who was going to score first?
Now you see why Jeff does it. He really can't help it.
Yeah. Well, if you do it for 25 years of your life, you might as well entertain yourself at some point.
Yeah, and stop showing that commercial where he's old, 150 years old. Jesus.
Yeah. Did you listen to this last week's podcast? His Jeff's podcast, the Why Does Jeff Suck segment, and somebody had picked on him about his hair and how he needed to get a haircut. But it was really great actually, because his response, it's like the Jeff that we used to have, like he wasn't trying to force host out anymore. And he was like, no, I'm not going to cut it. I'm not going to cut it because I like it. And then he starts name dropping all these rock stars that he's friends with. And it was so fantastic.
So old Jeff is back.
Kick it with, yeah, like he was talking about who he used to kick it with, and he can't like cut his hair.
And are they having trouble getting people to try out for Survivor now? It's like we see that commercial like twice. I mean, it used to be just it used to be at the end of during. Hey, if you want to be on Survivor, blah 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 blah. Maybe I should apply again. I don't know.
You should apply again.
I definitely think that you should, because clearly he's talked about in this podcast like every 5 minutes, like you have to apply. You think you can play, then you need to apply, and then blah blah blah, and you need to apply. So
maybe I will.
You went through the whole process of how it works, and then like you just do a quick video, you like upload it. And then they have like a list that they call from. And if you are on this list, you have to have your phone available, and they'll call you from this week, between this week and this week, if you've made it to the shorter list. And then once you're on the shorter list, then they do like a Zoom interview. They said that they used to bring people in, but now they just do everything with Zoom. And it's like him and a couple of the producers. And he's all like, yeah, we just like sit around, it's really casual. Like you can have a beer and like chat with us. We just want to know who you are. And then from that list, then they bring it down and they do personality tests, and they have like these tests that they take and all that stuff from there.
Well, I know.
That's very intense.
Every time I would submit my thing, I'd go on Survivor Sucks, because they would tell you it would come out when it was done. So probably nice. They would talk, but they also said the number is 310, which is LA. And I was one time, I told the story, I think on the Ramblecast. I was sitting there one time. I was sitting in my house. I look and the number's 310. I go, holy shit.
Oh.
So I pick up my phone. I go, hello? Yeah, are you interested in getting some videos on Girls Gone Wild? I go, no. Click. And I hung up. I went, and then I was wondering, I wonder if that was just them testing me. But you never know. But I was like going, I was so bummed, because I got at that moment I was at the highest high. Yeah. That's all the 310 number. No one ever calls me from 310. Oh, I'm like, but it didn't happen. I think it was the last time I applied.
Well, you've had shoulder surgery now, so you're good to go.
Yeah, you're solid.
Yeah.
If you hurt yourself, just go roll in the ocean for a minute.
Yeah, sleep in that bamboo, and I'm getting up like this.
Get that bamboo blanket all the way up to your neck and cozy.
It was a palm tree blanket, wasn't it?
Yes.
All right. Any last thoughts on this episode? It looks like we're going to be merging next week, so that's cool. Definitely. Do we think we're going to do that stupid hourglass thing, or whoever gets gets voted out next week goes on the pre-jury trip and is part of the jury?
I hope not. I did like the fact that the three people that they didn't get an idol. They got some food, which I think I almost think I would rather have the food than an idol, because the food is going to rejuvenate you. Because Carolyn was saying, I'm starving. I don't care. I'm going to eat this food.
No, I'm going to be perfectly honest. While those two boys were just like adoring each other, I would have been digging through the food and under the placemats and under the rug and just looking,
Yeah.
For an idol, yeah.
Oh my God.
I thought because that used to be what they would do. They would put an idol of one of these things.
Something in there.
Or an advantage or whatever.
Hey, Ben, here's your sandwich.
There's a moment where... crunch, so I had missed a lot of... You're right. Are these the beats from Primo?
That's going to hurt Josh going. That's going to hurt Josh going in the challenge too. That he was, can he be trusted?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Josh is in trouble next week, but we'll get to that in 1 second. So when that whole scene between the three of them, I had trouble hearing it because there was a lot of laughter going on. So I went back and rewatched it today just because I knew it was, such a big topic of conversation. And there's a point where they're like, talking to each other, ignoring her, and the food just drops out of her mouth where she's just like,
yes.
It's hilarious.
I love
anyway,
it.
Like I said, when they got to the tattoo part and they didn't include her, I'm like going,
come on, guys. She's covered in them. Like, could at least be like, oh, what flower is that? Like, you don't even have to talk about like.
Well, Danny was saying, you got heroes. Brandon who is a physical threat, and then Brandon, he's not like a beast. He's in shape, but is he a physical threat?
Well, they never make it far. They just never make it far. These guys never make it. When he said guys like us don't usually win, and she was like, guys like you, I was like, oh, this is his Harry Styles moment. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys all got that. If anybody got that, nobody got that reference. When Harry Styles won Album of the Year, he was like, things like awards like this don't happen to people like me. And we're like, are you serious, dude?
You poor guy.
Okay.
Tell that to Ted Lasso.
I haven't seen this. I'm only halfway through this.
I haven't seen it either.
But I had this choice today where I could either nap or watch the episode, and I chose the nap because I went to bed at 2:45 in the morning and had to wake up at 7:15 to mom. So
that's a good idea.
Yep.
But I was
so tired.
I was gonna say now we know why Danny does that tuck and roll thing all the time, because he's a ninja, right? He's a ninja trained.
Yeah.
He does that ninja thing. I don't think I could do. I've never done it. Meditate. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could sit there long enough.
That's right. That whole scene was so ridiculous.
Yeah, I wrote in my notes the tribe that meditates together stays together? Question mark.
Well, he said,
why did they keep showing this?
He says you got to blow it out or something. I'm like going, but didn't you already do that? I mean, what I don't get.
Is that before or after the balls drop together?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
In unison, preferably.
All right.
But as a tribe, you have to go down there because you don't want to be that one person going, "Oh, this is just BS. Just leave me alone. I could have slept another half hour. Come on."
You don't want to look like
I'll go down there.
I don't believe in enlightenment. Let me sleep.
Yeah. Get away from my palm tree. My palm leaf.
I'm good. You guys go breathe together.
I'm gonna have some mango.
I'm eating it all.
I'm gonna stay here and sleep. I mean, look for an idol. Is that more acceptable than staying here and sleeping? I guess if you're Ben, it's one and the same. All right.
Well, Ben's pillow was an idol.
Yeah, that's very true. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll tell you the votes, and we have an email as well. So, here we go. Okay, we're back. Let me read the email first, since it is actually about last week's episode. And this is from Shandy, and she said, "Hey, my thoughts. Hey! Exclamation point! My thoughts on the doctors/surgeons who lie about their profession is that it reveals more about what they think of themselves than what the rest of the general population thinks of them. Don't worry, doctors and surgeons. We do not automatically think you're geniuses because of your profession. It doesn't make you the threat you think it does. So just tell people your actual profession."
I gotta disagree a little bit, because I want to hope that my surgeon is a genius.
That's a good point.
I mean, I don't want to go up there and think, okay, this guy's an idiot. I mean, because I used to coach hockey, and a lot of the kids, their parents were surgeons.
Sure, yep.
And I had this one brain surgeon one time. He was a character, and he was talking about another family that they didn't really pay attention to their kids. It was sad. But he goes, "Look, I'm rich. I'm a brain surgeon. I'm rich." He goes, "But they have more money than God, and they can't pay attention to their kids." He goes, "Again, I'm a brain surgeon, and I'm rich." And he just kept saying, I go, okay. And he seemed pretty smart. So like I said, if someone's going to be working on my brain or my heart, I don't want them to be an idiot.
No, you don't. No, and then he seems to be super surprised at the end, right? When it's like revealed that there's some kind of doctor. That's reserved more for like someone who's like an attorney, Oh, I knew it. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the reaction you get. But like doctors are like, oh, so we just gave $1 million to somebody who already probably has $1 million.
Exactly. I think it's more of like, I think I agree. It's more like, okay, I'm not going to give money to someone that's already. Yeah. I mean, personally, I wouldn't do that. I'm going to give it to the person that I think deserved it. I mean, who played the best game. But if it comes down to okay, this person who's poor, this person who's rich, they both played the same game, I'm going to give it to the poorer person, which would be me. So,
so please vote for me.
Yeah, vote for me. I'm poor.
Shandy finishes. I also have a more general question/comment about jobs on Survivor. American Survivor loves to equate people with what they do for work. It's such an American thing to define people by their profession. I'd be curious to know if the castaways' professions are emphasized as much in any of the international versions of the show.
As far as Australia goes, because I haven't watched South Africa yet. That's next on my list.
Okay.
But from what there's in Australia, it is and it isn't. It really depends on what the profession is, because every season they have a professional football player or rugby player. Like that's a given. They're always going to have some really tough muscle on there. This year they had a 2-time Olympian. So that does get brought up a couple times, but it's never used as like a fear tactic or something that you have to like keep secret. So they don't, I mean, it'll get mentioned a lot for different reasons, but not because they think it's going to affect their gameplay in any negative way. For instance, there's one of the women that were in this season. She was in like Miss Universe or something like that. I don't know. But she was accused of pushing another contestant down a flight of stairs. It was like a very like scandalous thing. And so she was on the villains tribe.
So you don't want to be standing behind her like if you're looking at Cliff.
That was sort of the running joke with her for a while, right? Like I've like don't stand in front of her because she's going to push you. But it's not nearly as intense as it is with the US, where it's like I'm this and I have to keep it secret, and that's going to be like something I have to hold close to my chest, and it's not quite the same. It's if they don't tell you what they do, it's literally because it just doesn't matter and it isn't interesting.
Right. Because let's face it, most people don't have interesting jobs.
No.
Like, I'm being honest. I'm not insulting. Most people don't have interesting jobs.
Yeah. I mean, some people will downplay their position maybe a little bit, but.
Yeah.
Well, Downton Abbey, the reason it was successful was because it was all about your job status. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was that show. Okay.
I know, but I guess that's how it really was. I mean, it was all about job status.
Yeah, it's probably something that the US has probably pulled over from like, Europe or something. I don't know.
Well, no, it's.
I mean, I don't get it. I always said it doesn't matter what you do if you're out there working your ass off.
Yep.
We can analyze this all we want to, but that's probably a topic for a different show.
I'm an influencer.
Well, no, it's just.
I know I don't look like I do because I Survivor won't let me use the filter. So
okay, well, now I've got to just.
I need that blur tool.
Yeah, where's that little round light?
We need the ring lights. We need the blur tools.
Wait for it.
Jeff's got them all. Jeff's got them all hiding in his cabin.
Yes, requisite. Healthcare is a human right. Okay, that's my contribution to this conversation about jobs in America. Okay, let's get into the.
What does that have to do with Survivor?
Everything.
I'm just kidding.
Well, because the dude got medevaced, and I hope he had good healthcare insurance at home.
We'll see.
Survivor's gonna have to.
Well, he's in for if he has what I think he has, he's in for it. It's probably a year. It's at least a year recovery.
Yikes.
It's
so it's a lot of. It's very painful.
It's more painful after the surgery than it was. Like I said, I couldn't sleep for like 4 months.
Ooh.
Because I couldn't get comfortable. I was like, but before that, I was able to sleep. After the surgery, I couldn't sleep. So I was like, I'm never doing this again. But
I'm sorry. But you're all better now.
I'm all better now.
Yay. At least in that regard. Okay.
Yes.
You're still crazy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I got the scar to prove it.
I know. Hey, remember that time your daughter got a tattoo while you were under anesthesia?
Oh, that's right. She did, didn't she? Yep. I mean, I don't care. I mean, but there was some. I said she couldn't.
Because she asked you when you were like drugged up or something, or told you when you were. Yeah. Good times. Yeah. That was fun. All right. I don't know why that just popped into my head. Because we're talking about.
Well, there was some reason she wasn't going to school. She was in college and she wasn't going to classes. I think that's what it was. I said, until you go to classes, you can't get a tattoo. People say, well, she's in college. I go, it doesn't matter.
Did she go to her classes?
No.
Oh, there we go.
We're talking about the younger one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No.
I think we are.
Yeah, I think we are.
It was the foot one, right? The ankle one or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think. I don't know. It was a long time ago. Okay, getting back to our predictions.
Wait till that foot gets wrinkled. And starts sagging.
Oh. Oh, Lord. Okay. To tally the votes, we have Everyone's winner's pick has survived this week, so that is good.
Jam Jam.
Woo! Jamie had Matthew as pre-merge. She gets a point. Hold on. There we go. Okay. That is me on the other screen. Sorry. Let me close it out on the big one. Okay, there we go. And then Jack and I both had him as making the merge, which we were so close.
It should have happened. He could have sucked it up for another day. Jeez.
Yep, that could have been your point.
Again, it's not like old Survivor. It was 39 days. It's 26 days. One more day, buddy. One more day.
Anyway, all right.
Well, God's here.
That God is here. Hello. All right. As far as last week, none of us got points. And except Jamie gets a point because she picked the right tribe that was going home, right? Or do you just get 2 points if you pick the right tribe and the right... No, I forget now.
How do we not know the rules at this point?
I don't know, because we just made them up this season.
We just make them up as we go.
Yeah, sort of like the Mandalorians. The armor changes the rules all the time.
I picked green. I swear, I picked green.
I picked green.
All right, Alex.
Yeah. He's shouting above me. They're yelling at each other about something.
They were perfect yesterday.
Well,
you know why? Because I was there, and I lead with an iron fist.
Yeah, that's right. You do. Leave no lovies behind.
In fact, I told Zach yesterday. I go. All right, it's time to go. Your mom said after Survivor. I go. Come on, don't make me be the bad guy. Come on. He goes, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Jamie had Yam Yam. He stayed. Jam, sorry. Lauren, Jack had Lauren. She also stayed.
Yes,
and then I
we
had
didn't even
Josh.
see Lauren, did we?
No.
Because she didn't do the challenge. They didn't look at her
no
tribe.
belly flops.
No, we didn't see her at all. And then I had Josh. I was so close. I think I was so close. So, all right. None of us get points except do you get a point, Jamie, because you had the right tribe at least?
Yeah.
I think you get a point.
There was a half a point. You do half points for the right tribe.
How do you get half point?
I got a tribe.
I typed 0.5.
So I got a tribe and then the Matthew going pre-merge. So did I get 2 points today?
I think you get 1.5.
1.5? 1.5?
Yes.
Okay.
That could be the difference in the game.
That really could be.
I'm going to put a 0.5 above that.
We managed to make this system even stupider than Jay's, and I don't even know how.
I don't know how that is I don't know how that's possible. You know what? That's going to be my tattoo. This system is dumber than Jay's.
All right. Who do you think is going home next week? I'm going with Josh. And you know why I'm going with Josh? Not just because I picked him to go home this week and he didn't. I'm going with Josh because I am old enough to remember last week when his tribe that he originated on wanted to get rid of him.
Yep.
And then his
100%.
New tribe wants to get rid of him. So I think unless he wins immunity of some sort, I think he's gone.
Unless he decides to start a boys club with the two dude bros from brunch.
But those dude bros are going to be a target the second they're like, we're running the game, because there's no way those guys are doing that under the radar.
Does Josh have any tattoos?
I don't know. If he doesn't, they're not going to let him in.
No, there's no way. There's no way.
Well, to be fair, they're not going to let him in if he does have them covered all over his arm either, because apparently there's the only two with tattoos on the island.
They're like looking into a mirror. They love each other, so it's
they really do. They're smitten.
Truly did.
Dude,
you've got two romances on that island.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the other ones, the one between Brandon and Danny is more obvious.
Yeah, that's a couple to break up first. To break up first.
Again, I love that Carolyn came back and was like, "Yeah, so Josh, they want you."
I like how she was up with when Josh would walk away.
We're good.
It's like, yeah, we're good. We're safe.
And Jam's like going, "What?"
I love them. I hope that we see them for the rest of the season together.
I agree.
There's no way they're gonna have to. One of them's gonna have to be gone.
I don't know. I feel like there's other people that would be targeted as bigger threats. Okay, Jack, Jamie, who do you guys think is going home? Let's land this plane.
I have to go with Josh. I feel it.
Okay. Jack?
He's the obvious choice.
True.
But I'm going to go with Carolyn.
Ooh.
And I literally hope I'm wrong, but I just have this feeling.
I'm going to put this out there. I did this for the whole season of Erica and the whole season of Marianne. So maybe this is the mojo she actually needs to win.
Okay.
Ooh, I like that.
The only problem is she is bad at the challenges, so she's going to be.
Well, we have to wait and see how she does on, sitting there and holding on to something for 5 hours. She cannot.
Yeah, we haven't had any of
because she won't be able to take off her pants.
Well, yeah. I'm just thinking about how great they're going to be. So, she's going to say so many funny things and make so many funny facial
I know. I can't wait. But no, we haven't really. I mean, they've been such
physical
challenge. There've been such. No, she's gonna be like, rah! She's gonna be like that. Was it Howard Dean who had that scream? He's just gonna do like that scream.
We're going to Wisconsin. And right then the press said, "Well, we don't want him."
Yeah.
I mean, it came down to the press. They said, "We can't. This guy's not stable. We can't have him running."
Little did they know that a mere 10 years later.
Whoa! Yep. That used to be all it takes, guys. It used to be
the more unstable, the better. No. Okay. No, I could just no. But they've had such physical, really physical challenges that we haven't had the personal endurance challenges yet. And I think the jury's out on how Carolyn will do.
I forgot to mention. I give these people credit on this last challenge that we're holding the water. I thought one person would tumble and lose. Nobody lost any water.
Yeah, they all did
I said that because you're tied together, and I go and they were all doing different styles. Nobody dropped any water. I go, how is that possible? I go,
they did really well.
Kudos to them.
Yeah,
I turned to Jay and I was like, we did this better with the what?
Even when Josh that fell.
Oh yeah,
that fell? Or Matt. Yeah. It was Matt that fell. Somebody fell. Yeah.
Matt fell and hurt his other shoulder. So it was. Jeff's like, Jeff, Matt, get off that rock.
There's a competition going on.
When they were doing the water thing, I turned to Jay and I was like, we had to do spoons in the Unamazing Race.
Well, hold on a second. I had a ice cream scooper.
Yeah, we had the big spoon. We're talking about we had a family amazing race this past summer that Jay and I won by a lot because we're awesome. And
it wasn't by a lot. If I didn't have the ice cream scooper, we'd have been right behind you.
But you did.
We dropped a third because of that stupid ice cream scooper.
Well, I was going to pick the ice cream scooper, and Jay was like, no, don't.
Sydney picked the ice cream scooper. I'm like, what? You already picked it because I couldn't. I said, no, not the ice. And I was even cheating.
Well, what put us ahead in that was we got the bocce pretty quickly, and now I think the bocce was where everybody struggled.
Oh yeah, I was definitely, because Cindy was like going, I go, I'm trying. And then when I finally realized that the hill, the grass, it was AstroTurf. I go, oh, it's got a slant to it.
Yep.
Let me go this way with it. And then once I figured that out. We were lucky
we got there before everybody by about 3 minutes. So we kind of were able to practice with the learning curve without anybody there for a couple of minutes. So then once everybody got in on it, you have the different whatever, then, we got pretty lucky. And also, maybe my superpower is just bocce. I don't know.
I don't want to complain. I don't want to be one of those people complaining about their partners, but my partner wouldn't run.
Whereas Jay and I were literally sprinting everywhere, even when we didn't need to.
It's why I don't go on the Amazing Race.
There was a scavenger hunt for pictures of things, and I was sprinting in and out of stores, and I did not need to, but I was just like, come on, go.
Well, I checked Jay into the aisle.
Jay and I were shouting at each other down the aisles.
We know because people are looking at us. I go, I But Jay came around the corner and tried to lower his shoulder into me, but I'm the one that's played hockey. He got the worst of it.
I'm getting the whole grocery aisle scene from Bad Moms playing in my
Jay,
head.
the Oreos over here.
What Cindy not running and the bocce ball and not being able to find the
Rolos.
The Rolos did us because we were ahead at that point.
You were ahead, but you went to the wrong section for the Rolos, and I had noted them at some point when we were doing it, so I knew where they I had just happened to notice that part. So anyway,
we went up in every place you go to in Raleigh, they're up at the front. Just saying.
Not at Harris Teeter.
Well, every time I go to the store, I go, oh, there's the Rolos. Right there in the front, right where we looked.
Well, not in California. Not in California. Okay, let's finish this up. Oh no! Earmuffs! We're gonna have to PG-13 this one.
That was Colleen.
My balls dropped together in unison.
They were right next to each other for a while, but then old age comes in and
in unison.
There they go.
In unison.
There they go.
Okay.
They're swinging all. They're everywhere. It's like
all right.
They're over here. They're over there.
To wrap this up,
they do what they want.
It's like inside a bell.
Jamie and I both have Josh next week, and Jack has Carolyn. So there we have it, everybody.
And don't send hate mail because I picked Carolyn. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. If you have want to send us an email, though, survivorjjc@gmail.com is the email address. We would love to hear from you. And stay tuned for the patron show. My kids have already watched the challenges, so half the work is done.
Challenge.
If you'd like to become a patron, go to patreon.com/JanJack. Thank you to the patrons that contribute a certain level, and that would be Eckhart, Rigner, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, and Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. And I think that's about it. Shout out to anybody that might be listening to this who was at the live thing yesterday. It was so nice to see you. And special thank you to everybody who came up to me last night and was like, do you know that you look like Eliza? And I was like, yes, everybody tells me that. Thank you. I thought I stopped looking at it when I gained my pandemic weight face. Like, I don't look like Eliza anymore.
Good girl.
It was great.
Can I tell you something though? Don't go to an Amazing Race thing.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
because they don't like Eliza on Amazing
Race. It wasn't her best moment.
No,
I don't think Corinne brings out the best in anybody.
No, and it was it was bad. It was bad. And they were poor sports.
I know. All right. On that note, everyone, thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next week. We will be recording live again next Thursday night. That is April 6th, I think it is. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, because I'm going to see Les Mis.
Les Mis.
Are you going with Jay?
Yes, so my children will be in New York.
So that means there's no Mandalorian, so Matt could record on Wednesday night.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so if you need something to watch Wednesday night, the Ramblecast After Dark will be in our time slot.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe.
Assuming.
Stay tuned. Who knows? Check the Facebook group. All right. On that note, goodbye. My name is Colleen.
Jamie.
Jack.
Peace out.